today I am going to be doing a Q&A video. I did a poll on Instagram and on Twitter asking if you guys would rather have no vlog at all today or a relationship Q&A, because I was out today in San Diego doing an event for Justin's ship, and that is kind of a private event and I didn't want to vlog that, and by the time I got home it's almost dark already, you guys, and it's only 3 o'clock because it's the day after daylight savings, but I decided to do a random relationship Q&A instead. So I got tons of questions. I'm going to start right away because there's a lot and I want to make this video about 15 to 20 minutes. Did I complete my goal? You'll know by now. But that's my goal for this video, so I'm gonna jump right in and get started. What's one way you have of coping when missing your husband seems unbearable? Not when your husband seems unbearable. One thing I have of coping when I am missing Justin more, by the way, if you guys don't know, if you're new to our channel, my husband is currently deployed. He has been gone for 4 months. He is not scheduled to come home for a while still. So I guess my way of coping on the days when I miss Justin more than other days is, for me, I go back and I watch old vlogs, old videos on my phone, and look at old pictures of Justin and I from a while ago. And that might seem like, wouldn't that make you more sad? But for me, it takes me back to those moments, reminds me of how happy I am when I'm with Justin and how much it's all worth it in the end for him to be gone for this long. He's amazing, and it just makes me kind of fall in love with him all over again, and reminding me of that is kind of my way of coping with it. Do you and Justin plan on leaving California anytime in your life together? I know you talk about that sometimes on the vlog. We don't have any plans of leaving California. We have a lot of family out here. I think that the door is always gonna be open, and I feel like everyone would say that there's always an opportunity for us to leave, but we don't have any plans to leave. The only thing is that California is ridiculously expensive and overpriced, and so hopefully when the house market drops, I would want to stay here. That would be great. And while it's still really high, makes me want to leave, but I know that eventually the house prices will go back down. But we have family here, we love us. We don't have any plans to leave, but the door's always open. Do you have any relationships with other Navy wives that are on Justin's ship? I have one closer friend that is Justin's friend's wife, and we've become closer while they have been deployed together, but that's about it. I mean, I have a close relationship with the ship's ombudsman, who is kind of like the family coordinator for all the spouses and family members of the ship members. So I'm kind of close with her as well, and if your husband is on a ship, I would recommend becoming very close friends with the ombudsman. She's very helpful. She was the one that helped us all out when everything happened with Bryn and Justin was underway, and so closer relationship with her. Not so much with all the other Navy wives, although I'm not opposed to it. I just don't live on base. I live far away, and so that's probably why. But if you live on base, the likelihood of you becoming friends with someone is probably a lot higher. Where was your first date and how old were you and Justin? Justin took me on my first date with him to San Diego. We were 17 years old. He drove me up to this restaurant that overlooks the bay. It's called Sea Level. We still go there. We love it. It takes us back so far. We actually took some friends there this summer. I just love it. It brings back such good memories of our first date. He also took me over to a park that's overlooking the water near the restaurant. We carved our initials in a tree. It's still there. I think I have a picture. If I do, I'll put it right here. It is one of my favorite spots to go back and look and reminisce, and I can't wait to go back on a date there when he comes home. How long were you and Justin dating before he proposed? Justin and I started dating in March of 2012, and he proposed in January of 2014. So not quite 2 years, but almost 2 years. We had been dating over 2 years when we got married. And so I think that that was actually the perfect amount of time for us. I think that we had been friends also before he and me started dating for a few months. So we knew each other very well, and we knew we wanted to spend the rest of our lives together. Okay, this kind of goes with the other question. How long do you think you should date before getting married? When did you know you were ready? I think that there's no right answer. I think it varies for everybody, and everyone's situation is different. Justin and I dated for about 1.5 years, like I said, more than 1.5 years. But if we had been financially secure earlier, we probably would have gotten married earlier even. We'd been dating for so long, in my eyes, it felt like so long. And so for me, I knew I was ready because we'd been together for so long. I knew I loved him. I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with him. He felt the same way. We had financial security, which meant that we were able to afford to get married. We could provide for the two of us. We didn't need our parents to help, you know, house us or anything. And so not that if that's wrong if you do have that, but that's how I knew that we were ready. How did you overcome the difficult times in a relationship? And what's your biggest piece of advice for getting through a breakup? I'll start with the breakup piece. What's your biggest advice for getting through a breakup? I only dated one boy, seriously dated, before marrying Justin. And we dated twice. This man and I dated twice. He's a man now. Each for about 6 months to a year. And he was my only other relationship, really. Justin dated a few other girls as well, but not like a serious relationship. So he doesn't have a lot of like relationship advice for a breakup. For me, I was the one who broke up the first time, and he broke up with me the second time. So looking back, I cringe, to be completely honest, at this first relationship. It was very unhealthy, very just not a good relationship. And so I guess my best advice for getting through a breakup though would be to focus on yourself, learn to better yourself, learn to fall in love with yourself and not just the other person, and focus on making yourself a better person, and the right person will come to you. I think that that's my biggest piece of advice, is if you work on yourself and become the best version of yourself, people are gonna fall in love with that, I think. How do you overcome the difficult times in a relationship? I think that we fight differently than we did before being pregnant and having Bryn. I think that we don't argue as much, but a part of that is because he's deployed. But I think that we just realized that at the end of the day, neither of us are going anywhere. Like, we're in this for the long haul, and so at the end of the day, that's what's the most important thing to me. And so overcoming those difficulties, we might be so angry and mad and frustrated in those moments, but ultimately looking at the future and, okay, we know we're gonna get over this, so what's the first step to taking to getting over it, I suppose? I don't know if that makes any sense for you guys. I really hope it does, but like I said, we argue very differently after Bryn. I think we just appreciate each other more and realize what is more precious in life than the little arguments. Do you remember the first time you guys said I love you? Who said it first? How did they say it? Love you, Rachelle, love you too. This is a really funny story. I think Justin and I will always remember this story, and it was, technically he said it first, but I hinted at it first, if that makes any sense. So he and me were sitting together at his house and just watching a movie, and just like, we'd been dating for a few weeks at that point. Yeah, we weren't dating very long when we said it. And I was just looking at him and I said, I think I'm falling in love with you. And then he looked back at me and he said, I already do love you. And then once he said that, I said, I love you too. Because I think I was already thinking it, but that was my way of like sliding it into the conversation. And so technically he said it first and then I responded, but I hinted at it first. What first attracted you to Justin? Actually, I rejected Justin twice before finally agreeing to going out with him, which looking back, I'm like, Rachelle, you idiot. Why didn't you say yes the first time? Because I was a sassy teenager. Mister! I think that the first thing that attracted me was his persistence. The fact that he asked me out like a million times before I finally said yes made me think he really does like me. But like physically, what attracted to me most was his smile. I think Justin still, to this day, has the best smile that I've ever seen. The biggest smile, the goofiest, and I love it more than anything. I think I said that in our wedding vows as well. I just love his smile, and I want to see him smile for the rest of my life. What are you planning on doing during the 2-week wait after your transfer to make the time go better? This is a weird, I don't know how to answer it, because with our first transfer, I obsessed over it, was so convinced it was positive and it was negative. And so with the second one, I didn't think about it at all. I went to San Francisco, I went on a road trip, I distracted myself, but I also didn't like sit there and just think about it. And so I think that this time I'm gonna try and stay busy. I'm gonna do stuff. I'm not gonna stop my life. I'm not gonna be on bed rest. I'm gonna do me and see what happens. Honestly, I'm not gonna try and like, oh, I should go out today because I don't want to be home. But actually like try and enjoy that time as much as I can, because those 2 weeks I want to feel the happiest in the world. What is your biggest pet peeve that Justin does? Oh, I miss answering these questions with him. I don't remember because I haven't seen him in so long. Okay, this is the stupidest thing in the world, so don't judge me. We have this type of table that has 2 benches, and for me, I just slide into those benches every day. But Justin has to pull them out, but then he leaves them out, and it's crooked. You guys, it's so dumb, but it's crooked and it bugs me, and it's not just Justin. If anyone does that, it bugs me. So that's my type A personality speaking, and I'm so sorry that I'm annoying like that, but that's probably my biggest pet peeve. What's one thing that is helping you get through deployment? I have my countdown jar. That's just like a nice visual thing for me. I like to see that the beads are disappearing every day, and so that helps me get through it. I think just having a visual sign, kind of like an advent calendar, how like having it there makes it seem like the month goes quicker, but for a countdown. How many kids would you want in the future? I always said that I wanted 4, but I would be happy with 1 at this point. I think anybody who's gone through loss or IVF would agree that you have high expectations, and when they don't get met, you're grateful for even what you thought was the last thing you wanted, 1 baby. I would be happy with just 1 baby at all. I would be sad to not have more, but at the same time, my heart would be so full from being able to have 1 that I would be so happy. When things were rough for you and Justin, did you ever go to marriage counseling? Justin and I did go to marriage counseling for 1 session. We weren't able to finish because he left. I think when he comes home, we'll do it again. And that sounds, people are gonna think that that's crazy because we seem so happy. But honestly, I think marriage counseling is good for everybody, even if you don't think that necessarily you need it. I think it's just good to be able to have a person there to help you communicate through the little things. Even if to you they're so insignificant, it's good to learn how to deal with the little things so that when the big things come up, you can deal with it better together. So yeah, we did go to marriage counseling, and I have no shame in saying that. I think that it helped us. I think that it grew us closer. I think it made me realize a lot about myself as well as him, and I don't regret that 1 bit. Okay, so that is it for the questions for this time. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you guys had any more questions for our next relationship Q&A, which we will do when Justin comes home. We love you guys so much, and we will see you tomorrow in the vlog. Bye!